Folks, welcome back into the In the Pocket podcast. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Logan Martin and Xander Cook. We're going to cover the 4 o'clock slate as well as Sunday night and Monday night football. It's going to be a great second half of Sunday football and then going into Monday where Xander's Steelers will play. But let's get started with the first 4 o'clock game being a divisional matchup, NFC South matchup between the Panthers and the Saints. And, logic would tell you to take the Panthers in this matchup. And I think that I probably would, but the Saints just beat the Buccaneers and he really gave them a hell of a game. Can they do that to the Panthers, who arguably are a worse team? I don't know. We'll see. But the Panthers, for the first time in a very long time, the top of that division right now. And I think they are riding high on their horse right now. And they're just looking to get into the playoffs. I think their only way in would be to win the South this year. And I'm confident that they'll do it. I mean, the Buccaneers really have had a tough time these last few weeks, and it kicks them out of first place. So both these teams fighting for a lot. The Saints already out of the playoffs, but regardless, they still want to have those bragging rights over a divisional opponent, and they are at home. But I have the Panthers winning this one. I'll give them a 24-20 game. I think it's close.
The last time these two played, the Saints defense shut down Dowdle and Bryce Young, and Shuck had a great first start. I'm pretty sure it was 17-3. Shuck has been quietly proving that he can be that guy in New Orleans moving forward. He just had his best performance in an upset win over Tampa, and the team will look to continue to finish the season strong and build momentum into this next year. And boys, I just want to mention that Panthers are favorited in this matchup. They have lost 11 straight games being the favorite. Something tells me that streak is going to continue. I like the Saints in an upset here, 24-19.
All right, damn. I was not expecting you to go that way, but I mean, after last week, it's definitely possible. Divisional matchup, any given Sunday, definitely could happen. Logan, what do you think?
Yeah, this division's always been weird with these divisional matchups, whether it's, you know, teams like the Panthers who weren't expected to do anything. Now they're in a situation where they're battling for the first place spot. And teams like New Orleans, who in the past, like their matchups with Tampa Bay have been ferocious just because you had guys like Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans who were big rivals, and it just sparked a rivalry, even though the teams were opposite ends of the spectrum record wise. So this division's always been competitive, and I'm with Xander. I think this is going to be a really close football game, and I think the Saints have a chance to upset the Panthers. If there's any team that the Saints can, get back-to-back victories against, it's probably the Carolina Panthers. We've seen them be really good and we've seen them be really bad at times this year, and I think there's going to be a lot of people in New Orleans for this football game. It's probably, their last real chance to have an exciting football game that really matters. It's the divisional opponent. The next game's home against the Jets. That's not really exciting. And then they're at Tennessee, and then they're at Atlanta. So this is the last home game for New Orleans to get up. And I think they do so. I think they win this game in a stunner. Give me the New Orleans Saints to win outright 20-17.
I cannot believe I'm the only one taking the Panthers here. That's crazy. But we'll come back. We'll circle back to that and see what happens. I've been the one taking I've been the lone wolf in a few of these matchups now. Moving forward, this also could be game of the week. We talked about in the last episode, talking about the Patriots and the Bills being game of the week. This also could be game of the week with the Lions and the Rams. The Rams, to me, are the better team, and I'm probably going to end up picking them, but the Lions are still the Lions with Dan Campbell. It is Sean McVay versus Dan Campbell. What more could you ask for as far as head coaching matchup? And then there's a little bit of history between these two teams too, with the quarterbacks being traded for each other. Obviously, Jared Goff used to play for the Rams, goes and is traded to the Lions in exchange for Matt Stafford, who won a Super Bowl in his first year with the Rams. I just think that the Rams have more firepower on offense right now. You've got the league leader in touchdown receptions in Devontae Adams. Not to mention, you've got Puka Nacua, who seems like he can just catch anything in between the 20s right now. They kind of avoid him in the red zone, which I think is hilarious, but they go to Devontae Adams, who's just been awesome. And They've been showing signs of being able to get that running game going with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. So I think that the Rams win this one. I'll give it a high scoring game. I'm going to say 38-34 Rams.
Mm. Yeah, Rams defense, they've given up 17 and a half points per game. Offensively, they've scored 29.2 points per game. So they're the only team in the NFL that's top five in both of those categories. Now you're facing off against the Lions. They're going to be without Brian Branch for the rest of the season. So all signs are pointing for Matthew Stafford and the no NFL's number two receiver in Puka Nacua and the receiving touchdown leader in Devontae Adams to completely obliterate this Detroit secondary. Now, the Lions offense, they can't make this a game, and I'm expecting them to. They have the highest scoring offense at just over 30. But we saw it against Philly. We saw it against Green Bay. When Goff faces pressure, he makes a lot of mistakes and takes unwarranted sacks. The Rams have a great pressure group. The Lions also have the highest man-to-man coverage rate in the NFL. You know which QB has the best touchdown to interception ratio against man-to-man coverage? Matthew Stafford, 21 to 1. I'm taking the Rams in this one, 33 to 24.
Logan, what you got?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great game. You know, what team's going to respond um, to the opposing defense better? Because this is going to be an offensive shootout, in my opinion. I think there's going to be a lot of sparks in this game. But in this situation, we watched the Detroit Lions come out against the Dallas Cowboys and just look absolutely physical. Like they were hitting, and yeah, they shocked all of us. I had Dallas winning that game, and watching that game, it looked like the Dallas Cowboys had no chance from the start. I thought the Lions responded really well. Dan Campbell had the defense playing night and day better than what we've seen the previous few weeks from the Lions. So can we see that again against the Rams? With all the injuries, I say no. I think the Rams offense is going to look really good. Puka Nacua is top three receiver in the NFL right now, and with all the secondary issues for the Lions, I think that he can flourish in a matchup like this. You talk about the pressure the Rams bring against Jared Goff, but you also have to talk about the pressure that the Lions bring. They are just ahead of the Rams in terms of team sacks, and they're both top five in that category, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Sacks. I want to get this right. Lions are fifth, and the Rams are sixth in team sacks. So
Not to mention
two
Aiden
very good,
Hutchinson is a game wrecker.
right? And this is two very good offensive lines. But which offensive line am I going to trust? 100%. I'm going to trust the Rams. And that West Coast offensive, and Blake Corum, I think he's been a good addition to the Rams too. He's been running the ball well. So the way the offense has been going for the Rams, I think they'll be hard to stop with all the defensive issues and injuries. It's going to be a shootout, though. Give me the Rams 31-28.
All right. Moving forward to probably the most interesting game of the week. It's the Philip Rivers led Indianapolis Colts versus the Seattle Seahawks. And boys, when I got that notification, I heard that they were bringing him in for a workout. I was surprised. When I got the notification that he was actually signing to the active roster, I my jaw hit the floor. I could not believe it that that's where they went with this. Now, Philip Rivers in his career was a fantastic Hall of Fame level quarterback, and he was a Hall of Fame finalist this year too. And guess what? If he plays on Sunday, which all signs are pointing to the fact that he's probably going to play, that clock resets. He said he doesn't care. Now, again, he's 44 years old, and the question is, can the guy still play after 5 years of not playing? Boys, this Seattle defense is going to make that a extremely tough test for him. I don't think he sees what's coming yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if they throw in Riley Leonard into the game not too long after. I want to see the Rivers comeback story play out, but I just don't see it happening, being out of football for 5 years and coming back on 48 hours notice, or it would be more like 4 days notice when it gets to the time for the game. I just don't see it happening. So give me the Seahawks to win this one by a significant margin. I think that they win this one 31-14.
Is Philip Rivers starting in this game?
He is.
Sorry,
He
I
is.
got
He
blank.
It's
actually,
almost certain.
I had to double check too because he was signed to the practice squad, but
Right
I,
now, Riley Leonard's
all signs
first
are
right now,
pointing to
but
him starting.
yeah, if he makes the active roster, then that Hall of Fame clock resets 5 years.
That's
That would be
great.
interesting, but it might help his career by doing this. I wonder if he, but that's part of it. But you know, Colts are winning this outright. No, I'm playing. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing. Uh, I don't know if they're gonna score. To be honest with you, it's Jonathan Taylor hasn't been the same. They're desperate with signing Philip Rivers. I'm surprised if I'm gonna take an older quarterback and sign him, I'm taking Cam Newton. So,
And
um,
Cam Newton was pissed
He
that
was
they did
so
not
mad.
reach out to him first.
He was
yeah,
so
I didn't
mad.
see that reaction,
I
but
loved
I
it,
don't
dude.
blame him. It's man, I would have taken Cam Newton. I wonder if they call Tom Brady. But yeah, anyway, it's not gonna be
The
close. Give me
quarterbacks I heard that they reached out to were Rivers, Andrew Luck, and Ryan Tannehill.
Hmm. Dude,
you. Give
Rivers
me
instead of Tannehill, fuck off.
give me Seattle. Give me Seattle 28-3.
Yeah, dude.
But I hope it's 28-21. I hope it's one of those games. But no, I'm going to say 28-10 because I hope Philip Rivers gets some points.
I just want to see him score one touchdown, honestly.
I
Philip
might take
Rivers
his anytime touchdown. Round one.
Rivers hasn't thrown a ball in 4 years. It's been January 10th, 2021. Last time he's thrown a ball in an NFL game.
He
This is
throws seeds literally and figuratively.
This is going to be such a shit game to watch, and I think they'll score a couple times from Jonathan Taylor. I think he can absolutely still score a couple times for that Colts offense, but this is a bullshit game. Oh, the Colts season ended as soon as Daniel Jones went down. He opens up the play action, he opens up the passing game, he lets Jonathan Taylor flourish. Albeit the last 3 weeks he's played, the run game didn't look effective. The offense as a whole wasn't as effective, but now you have a noodle arm Rivers in there who will probably break his shoulder first pass of the game. Yeah, this is not a good game. I'm going 34-17 Seattle.
Dude, I'm cracking myself up over here because I don't sports bet, but there is a part of me just to see, just out of the mere chance that it happens, I want to bet Philip Rivers rushing touchdown so bad, bro.
You want to lose your money?
Dude, I'll put $5 on it. I don't care. I want to see what the payout. Logan, try and find that for me. What the payout would be on a Philip Rivers rushing touchdown on Sunday for
He got
The
five.
that kind he got
the
that kind of ego too that he probably would run one in.
I would
the you
love to
know
see that.
the Vegas betting market thanks you for your $5.
That's okay. It is the funniest $5 I will ever spend.
Plus
That
2,000. You put 10 on it, you won 200. I'm surprised
I'm
it's
fucking
only
doing
that.
it, bro. I'm doing it. Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
10? Oh Lord.
First TD, you can put 10 on for 800. First touchdown.
For first touchdown being the rushing.
For first touchdown being Philip Rivers runs it in. 800 bucks, 10 bucks.
Dude,
Can you
I'm like,
imagine that throw for
I
that first drive? You see him get to the one, the QB sneak it. Could you
bro,
imagine?
dude, I'm literally gonna lock it in. I don't care if it has zero chance of hitting. I think it would be hilarious. And imagine I win $800 off of it. I would fucking cry. I would go buy beer right away and just have a celebration.
think you should buy beer anyways.
Well, I might have beer, but maybe I'll go get more. More beer, more fun. All right, but that will be a fun game to watch. Xander, you don't think so, but I think just seeing him in the game is going to be fun. So I'll definitely at least have Red Zone on for that.
Dude,
Uh,
I'm fucking praying for him. I don't think it'll be fun to watch because I love Philip Rivers and I'm genuinely concerned for this guy.
like I said, I wouldn't be surprised they take him out for Riley Leonard somewhere in the second quarter, but we'll see what happens. Next game is Packers Broncos, guys. Really good matchup right here. There's a lot of good matchups in week 15, and this is one of them. Two stellar defenses versus two offenses that are either on or off. Xander, is it still Toyotathon? Is that still going on?
Until January, brother.
Till January. Jordan Love and Toyotathon, man. He's a baller. And we have seen that the last few weeks. And that defense really it has stepped up as well. And Micah Parsons is obviously a huge part of that. That Broncos defense also playing well as well, and they have all year. Last year they or last week they get the win over the Raiders. The week before they play the Commanders. It comes down to the wire because um the offense for the Broncos wasn't the greatest, but Nick Benito makes the play and they win the games that they're supposed to win. Now, I don't know who's supposed to win this game. I think Green Bay's favored right now, right?
Yeah, by 2.5, I think.
Yeah, Green Bay's favored right now. And you know what? I'm gonna stick with them. I think Green Bay gets it done in this game, and it opens up the potential for the one seed for the New England Patriots if they can win. And so I'm gonna take the Packers to win this one. Close matchup. Give me 24-21.
Yeah, I'm right with you, man. 24-20 Packers. I think they get it done. They've impressed me. I've been too harsh on Jordan Love, and I'll admit that for the time being. The playoffs haven't started yet. But, anyways, when it comes to these two teams, one team's playing really well, and the other team's been a little underwhelming, even though the record says otherwise. So, give me the Packers to handle business on the road 24-20.
These two teams are almost identical. Outstanding defenses, inconsistent offenses. Max said that, and I completely agree with him. Both teams have three or more one-score wins in the last 4 or 5 games as well. But I'm opposite of you guys. I'm rocking the home team here. Broncos are 6-0 at home this season. The Packers defense have shown that they're vulnerable against the run. It's going to be a low-scoring game because that's just how awesome these two defenses are, man. But I don't know, like yes, the Broncos haven't been flashy all season, but they're 11-2 for a reason. And this Broncos team feels like last year's Chiefs, where some bullshit happens and they somehow pull away with a win out of their ass. They win ugly, but a win's a win. I'm going Denver 20-17.
Let's move on to the Titans and the 49ers. And guys, this is about as simple as it gets. 49ers are going to win this one. You look at the last three games, 49ers are putting up 29 points per game. Tennessee's only putting up 19. Then you look at how many points each team is giving up. San Francisco, last three games, 13 points per game. First, Tennessee giving up 28. So I think it's a blowout. I think San Francisco wins this one 35-10.
38-10 San Fran. I'm keeping it short.
33-19 San Fran. Kyle Shanahan's going to find a way to get his playmakers the ball, and they're just going to wear that Tennessee defense down.
Yep. Next up is Vikings Cowboys. Cowboys are the home team in this matchup, and the Cowboys, I think, are the better team. The Vikings got a good win last week. They did. But they went up against Washington. I'm not convinced. I have Dallas winning this game 27-20.
Yeah, Minnesota has a league high 49% blitz rate. Dak excels against the blitz. All credit where credit is due. That dude's a dog when it comes to the blitz. He has over 1,100 passing yards against the blitz, which is, I think, third most in the league. And then he ranks second in passing yards when facing pressure. Plus, the Cowboys are tough to beat at home. Logan, what's their record at home? Aren't they undefeated or maybe one loss?
I think one loss.
One loss? Yeah, they're tough to beat at home. And they're still clinging to playoff hopes as well because that division is far from over. The Eagles suck right now. So I'm expecting the Cowboys to win this one 33-20.
Yeah, I don't know why part of me wants to take the Vikings. It would be gross, so I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna think with my head. I'm gonna go Cowboys. They're gonna win this game, 24-17.
All
I
right.
just I just think that George Pickens, like, he's gonna have a game. He's gonna have a game. At this point, he's their number one guy.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with him after the season. Do the Cowboys shell out more money for him, or do they trade him away and get some good value out of him? We'll see. Xander, your game, Monday Night Football, Dolphins versus the Steelers. I'm going to let you kick this one off.
All right. Dolphins come into this matchup with a 4-game winning streak. A week ago, Tomlin's head almost got cut off by us Steelers fans. We wanted his name out of Pittsburgh. We were chanting to fire his ass. I still want to fire his ass. I don't know about how the rest of the fair weather fans feel, but I want him gone still. Steelers went into Baltimore, somehow upset the Ravens. I hate that. I wanted us to lose, but now we have sole possession of first place in the AFC North somehow. The weather, I think, is going to be freezing on Monday night. Tua is 0-5 in his career with a kickoff temperature below 40 degrees. But during this four-game winning streak, Miami hasn't really needed Tua's play. They utilize Achane. They utilize the entire run game. Since week 10, the Dolphins lead the league with an average of over 192 rushing yards per game. On the other side, Pittsburgh has given up 466 rushing yards in their past two games, dude. The key to winning this game is simple for Miami. Get HN cooking. You get him cooking, it's an easy win. He ranks third in total rushing yards, first in yards per carry. On the Steelers side, they just had their best passing performance of the season. Perk Rogers, Unk Rogers, he still got it. My man, I love it. I love it when he airs that thing out to DK, bro. I love it. And now he's going up against a very, very questionable Miami secondary. So that's going to be good news for Pittsburgh. And other good news for the Steelers, they get Derek Harmon back. With him starting, the Steelers only give up 96 rushing yards per game. When he doesn't play, they give up 191 rushing yards. Almost a 100-yard difference from one single guy. What the fuck?
That's
Okay. Like, he's so big, he just clogs up that middle. That's how key he is to the Steelers team. He's an anchor on that front line. But here's the thing, TJ Watt's status is in question for Monday. He just had something wrong with his lung. He pulled a Tyrod Taylor. Team doctor fucked him up, so he's in the hospital. And if he doesn't play, that's horrible news because the Steelers are 1-10 all time without TJ Watt playing. But give me the team that can win in these harsh environments. I don't trust Tua with cold ass weather. I like the Steelers 30-20. But this is also such a fucking game that the Steelers lose, dude. It'd be so funny if we lose this game because of course, why wouldn't we lose this game, you know?
I was
Yeah, I mean,
just about to say that, dude. Like, this is a game that the Steelers 100% should win, but 100% could lose. I
mhm.
really don't even know what to make of this game. Hearing what you're saying about Tua and his cold weather games, we know how he's been. I mean, he travels to Buffalo once a year to play in the real cold weather, and he sucks. You see him go on, and what'd you say? He's 1-10 in cold weather games, or 0
No,
and
it was 0-5.
0 and 5 in cold weather games under what, 40 degrees?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Like, that speaks for itself, and I think the trend continues. But I do think it is a close game. Give me the Steelers to win 21-20.
Mm.
You guys keep talking about not trusting Tua in these environments. The Dolphins have put Tua in a position where they don't need to trust him these last few weeks. Just hand the ball off to Devon Achane. And the way that Mike McDaniel's has been coaching up that offense, in recent years it's been the passing schemes. And people like offense coordinators have taken bits and pieces of what McDaniel's has, drawn up in passing schemes and using their own offense. So like what we've seen from McDaniel's in the past has turned it in, modern day reality in the passing game in the NFL. And now the running game is flourishing. The running game is amazing. And Devon Achane is looking like an MVP candidate too late. It started way too late in the season. He's starting to have Jonathan Taylor numbers. So like, Devon Achane's been absolutely cooking. Let me get to his numbers real quick. Devon Achane, he's at 100. He's at 1,100 rushing yards right now. Over that, 92 yards last game. Before that, 100 on 7 carries. 7 carries, 92 yards and a touchdown. Before that, 22 carries, 134 yards, touchdown. 21 carries, 120 yards, no touchdowns. 22 carries, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. They're putting Devon Achane in the spotlight. They don't need Tua to do Tua in harsh environment things. Like Devon Achane, that offensive line is cooking itself. So hand the ball off to Devon Achane, you're gonna win this game, and they're gonna do so. They're gonna win this game 23-20.
So what if I told you that his name popped up on the injury report? He got injured against the Jets. It's a rib injury, and he's been limited in practice. Does that change your mind at all?
If he plays 23-20 Miami, if he doesn't play, give me
No,
20.
no, no. We've
No,
already
no, you have
established
to
there
stick
is
it. You
no
have to
if.
stick it. He's battling a rib issue right
Let me
now.
look this up
I
real
will
quick.
say, he is gonna play. He is gonna play. He is practicing. But keep in mind, he does have that rib injury.
Well, and what'd you say? Harmon coming back too, and it's 100-yard rushing yards
Devon,
allowed difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say he's gonna play. I'm gonna say he's gonna play, and McDaniel's gonna have the spotlight to be able to show off his run scheme. So, give me the Dolphins at 123-20.
if the Steelers rush defense holds and forces Tua to pass, it's going to be a tough day for them. Um, but with that said, that is the Week 15 recap for the 4 o'clock through Monday Night Football slate. We hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and make sure to tune in to our social medias. Like those up, like this video up. We're trying to gain more traction. We're trying to move on to greater and better things on this podcast. And we took a big step this week getting Andy Isabella on the podcast. It was so much fun having him on. We hope that in the future we could do more things like that. But with that being said, make sure to tune in next Tuesday where we will have recaps of all these games. And for right now, that's it. So have a great rest of your week. Enjoy football on Sunday and Monday, and we'll see you next time.
Dude, I've been farting like fucking crazy the past 2 hours, and oh my God, it is the worst smell I've ever produced.
What did you eat?
I had one of those